Determination is a right. We don't need to preach this again. For those who think that you don't have a right to acquire self-determination, the right to self-determination, tell them to go back and be colonized by the West. Because in the days of the fight for independence across Africa, they had this same resistance. I mean, the West equally came with a heavy hand to stop them from fighting for their independence. And the same people who are enjoying, I mean, 1/10 of the independence that they were supposed to have are today telling Ambazonians that you cannot fight for your independence. It is hypocrisy, and it is selfishness, and it is greed, and it's ignorance. I mean, you come out and you point fingers at the West for having colonized Africa. You say that the independence that you have is a rubber stamp independence. But you stand side to side with La République du Cameroon to criticize Ambazonians who have a right, or Southern Cameroons, or any other ethnic minority group anywhere that is advocating for self-determination. You have the moral right to stand and tell them they cannot ask for independence. It is hypocrisy, it is wrong, and we condemn this in the strongest possible terms. Now, if you stand for justice and truth, the first thing you will say is, these people have a right to stand up and say we want to be independent. And in the case of Southern Cameroons, this independence was declared on October 1st, 2017, and widely accepted by the entire Ambazonian people by His Excellency Siseko Ayoktabe Julius. We will want to remind you that His Excellency Siseko Ayoktabe Julius did not just restore the independence of Southern Cameroons. He tested the popularity of that decision on September 22nd, 2017. The popularity of an independent Southern Cameroon seeking to be restored by its people, or by her people, was tested by His Excellency Siseko Ayoktabe Julius. There are many people who did not understand what he was doing on October 22nd and asking people to go out there and prove to the world that this is what we want. Because he knew that on October 1st, he was going to restore that independence. But he was cautious to make sure that this is what the people of Ambazonia really want. This is what the people of Southern Cameroons really want. He took his time, he worked with his team, and they came out with that framework to say, if we have to restore this independence on October 1st, it is good for us to test the popularity of this decision before October 1st. And October 22nd was the first ever widely held referendum for the Southern Cameroonians. Maybe you do not know. Maybe you do not know what His Excellency Siseko Ayoktabe Julius did in 2017. So he could not come out to tell you it was a referendum organized, because if we were going to organize a conventional referendum in the Southern Cameroons, La République would have used its usual rigging machinery to stop, first of all, the referendum from happening. But he was intelligent enough. He was wise enough. He had a vision together with his team and cabinet to say we must test the popularity of the decision that we want to take on October 1st. And how did he test the popularity of that decision? He told Ambazonians, Southern Cameroonians, if truly you want me to restore this independence on October 1st, 2017, I want you to go out on the day of the General Assembly of the United Nations and tell the world, this is what we want. The results have no questions. You saw the number of people of Ambazonia that went out. You saw the number of Ambazonians and Southern Cameroonians that went out on the 22nd of September last year to tell the world and to tell the dictator in Yaoundé, who thought that he had control over the people of Ambazonia. He had a physical control with the use of the military over the people of Southern Cameroons, but he did not have the control and over the minds and the determination for the restoration of the independence of a people. So that was proven on October 22nd. And if you go anywhere and somebody who wants to maliciously question the decision of restoring the independence of Southern Cameroons on October 1st, 2017, you have to tell them, we did not just restore that independence on October 1st, 2017, the vote was tested. The popularity of the decision was tested by His Excellency Sisoko Ayoktabe Julius. And the people came out and responded with a heavy yes to say, yes, this is what we want. You saw them. They could make the blue and white flags out of anything that they could find. You saw even them having shoes of blue and white. You saw gadgets. You saw women going out there. Mothers, babies, everybody was out there. How else can we say that the people of Southern Cameroons have not accepted or do not want the independence restored? It is selfish for a gang of individuals in the CBDM party to go around and not to accept that this is what the people want. It is bad and it is a big problem, because the same people who claim that they are parliamentarians representing the people of Southern Cameroons in the Kangaroo Court Parliament in Yaoundé have failed to accept what the people want. The international community must understand that the restoration of the independence of Southern Cameroon was not just done by His Excellency Sisoko Ayoktabe. He had the authority from the people of Southern Cameroons on September 22nd to go ahead and restore that independence. What else can we say? So it is not just saying I restore the independence, but the authority to restore the independence was given to him to do that. So please do not be worried about those who go around and try to twist things. He might be in jail with his cabinet in Yaoundé, but he knows that you gave him that mandate to restore that independence, and you must continually stand up for him. You must continuously stand up strong, because if you give a leader the authority to make a decision, you must stand by that leader to make sure that that decision is executed. Now, if His Excellency Sisoko Ayoktabe Julius and team called for Ambazonians to come out on October 22nd, and you did not come out to say this is what we want, then we will not say that he was given the mandate to restore this independence on October 1st. But because we all went out there, children, everybody, millions of Southern Cameroonians went out there to tell him, His Excellency, we now give you the power to go ahead and restore that independence. And he listened to you, he listened to me, and he restored the independence on October 1st. And October 1st, 2018 will be the biggest celebration we should be talking about, because that is 1 year after that independence was restored. That is 1 year after this independence was restored. And so we should be going out there to tell His Excellency Sisoko Ayoktabe Julius and team and the entire people of Ambazonia that thank you, we stand strong by the decision that we made 1 year ago, and we are not going to give up, and the world must listen. I can guarantee you that the world is watching to see how we come out to maintain, to be at the top is not easy, but to stay at the top is what makes the difference. And if this independence was restored on October 1st, 2017, and we cannot come out on October 1st, 2018 and tell the world that we still stand by the decision that was made in 2017, then there would be questions about that decision. Then there would be questions about what you stand for and what you believe in. There would be questions about where you want to go to as a people. So October 1st, 2018, wherever you find yourself as an Ambazonia or Southern Cameroonian, whatever way you want to call yourself, it is your right. But remember, we must reaffirm the decision of October 1st, 2017, wherever we find ourselves. I understand the interim government will be coming out to give specific instructions, especially to people on ground zero, on how they should behave, conduct themselves on October 1st. But for those of us abroad, you cannot stay at home. You must be out there to be the voice of the people who want to go out. I can guarantee you that the people on ground zero, if they were to go out on October 1st, they will. But we know that would be difficult. So they are expecting you to go out there and be their voice. They're expecting you to go out there and brandish the blue and white flags of Ambazonia on their behalf. They expect you to go out there and tell the world of the 13 counties Oh, I forgot. And 14th is coming. I hear the interim government mentioning Bakassi being crafted to make the 14th county of the Southern Cameroons, Federal Republic of Ambazonia. So, ladies and gentlemen, those are the logical things we must think about October 1st, the significance of October 1st, 2018. It is the day for us to reaffirm the decision that we made, the pledge that we made to His Excellency Seko Yuktabe Julius. He will be in jail, but he will be waiting to hear feedback from all of us. That we told him, His Excellency, we are with you and we still stand by the decision. Oh yes. So do not be shaken. And to comrades in the United Kingdom, now this march is going to start from 12 noon. Put the time down. Get on your calendars and put it down. 12 noon. The march starts at number 10 Downing Street, where the problems of Southern Cameroon started. Number 10 Downing Street. We shall start the march from there. At 12 noon, a flyer shall be circulating anytime as from tomorrow or by the end of today to give you details of that day. It is a day of commemoration, as the interim government has put it. And so we invite all of you from wherever you are in the United Kingdom. We want to send a big salute to our comrades who always come all the way from Wales for every event organized by the community. To those of you coming from West Midlands, we've had suggestions from comrades saying that we should paint buses with Ambazonia colors on that day. We should hire buses from different companies and brandish them with Ambazonia colors on that day. Those discussions should continue to go in the various groups and come out with the best way in which we will showcase the colors of Ambazonia and the people who we are. Yes, Southern Cameroonians. In the 60s, Africa was at a point where we are, but the West was fighting and fighting really, really hard to stop that independence, which we are fighting for. And I tell you, the selfish individuals who go around, ask them this question: do I have a right to demand for my independence? If he says yes, so why stop me? So the problem is with the person that is stopping someone who is demanding something justly, and not the person who is demanding it. Yes, Anumuket, it was restored on October 1st, 2017. So sometimes I do not go by the argument of Treaty of Union or whatever. I just ask the question: is it my right to demand for independence, self-determination? Is it a right? Do I have a right to say I want to be an independent country? And if you tell me yes, I say, then why try to stop me? So the logic is there. Don't go into history of Africa was this and things like that. The only way for us to move forward is to first of all accept the truth and say these people deserve to be independent. They have a right, and if you want to test it, like Siseko Ayuk did. He was an Ambazonian. He was he is a Southern Cameroon, like he mentioned in the prisons, and said he can only be judged in an Ambazonian court. And so he said, I have been made the interim president of the Federal Republic of Ambazonia, and I am going to restore the independence of the people of Southern Cameroons. But I cannot do this without asking the same people that are giving me this mandate. For years and years, we've been hearing the Southern Cameroons issue. We've been hearing movements. We've not had the mobilization of the people to test and make them understand what they really, really want. But this is a gentleman who came and took upon himself. He was brave enough. He had tension. I mean, I can understand what was going through his mind through discussions that we used to have when he visited the United Kingdom. How was he going to test the popularity of this decision? How was he going to make it an Ambazonian people's decision? How was I going to make it in a way that the people own the decision? Because in an independent Southern Cameroon, decisions will be made by the people and not by the government. And he took so much time. I remember him in a conversation with His Excellency Carlson Anyangwe, actually deliberating on this particular thing. And I remember what Carlson Anyangwe said. And I doubt if you even remember what he said in that meeting. And he said, our peoples must be tested. The decision, then we must find out what they want before we declare this independence. For those who were not opportune to be part of those discussions, I can tell you that it was upon that he called for Ambazonians to come out on the 22nd of September during the UN General Assembly to tell the UN and the world that we want this independence. He was testing the popularity of the decision he was going to make just about 2 weeks later. And yes, you gave him that mandate. You gave him that authority to go out there and announce the independence of Southern Cameroons, and which he did. He didn't do it by himself. He didn't do it because he thought he could announce the independence. He did it because you, the people of Southern Cameroons, told him on September 22nd to go out there and announce the independence of Southern Cameroons. He did it for you. He did it because you wanted him to do it, and he did it. So it is now the time for us to tell him, we gave you this decision, and we stand by the decision we gave to you. And if Southern Cameroonians think different and tell him, we want to withdraw that decision, it is your decision to say so. But as it stands, and everything we can see, the people of Southern Cameroons are standing by that decision. So why try to stop them? Why kill them? Why kill the people of Southern Cameroons? They deserve and will stand by what they had given to their president to do. It is not a people's-led, it is not an individual-led country like La République du Cameroon, where the president decides what to do without consulting on the people, where the president can stay abroad for years upon years, no hospitals, no schools, kids go to school, citizens die across the whole country. He is concerned about citizens of other countries and sending sympathy letters to other presidents. But when his own citizens die and go through pain, pregnant women die, children are unable to go to school, nurses and doctors have no facilities in hospitals to look after patients. Just the trauma itself in looking at someone that you could help and you cannot help that person kills you and kills your potentials. But he is somewhere out of the country. And the individuals who parade themselves and give him legitimacy over the people also do the same thing. Oh no, that is different with the Southern Cameroons. For the first time across Africa, a revolutionary leader stand up and say, yes, I have been given the mandate to be the interim president of Southern Cameroons. And I want to restore the independence of Southern Cameroons. But how do I go about restoring this independence without testing the popularity of this vote? A lot of people have been saying that there are a bunch of individuals abroad who are calling for these things. A bunch of people are saying that just a few group of people. But to make this legitimate and to make this owned by the people, I need to test the popularity of this vote. 22nd of September, put it down, was the biggest ever referendum held for the people, and not the scam that was held in 1972 or 1961. So, what argument do you have to tell the people of Southern Cameroons that they should not have restored that independence? What argument do you have to tell His Excellency Sissoco Ayuk Julius and his government not to have restored the independence of Southern Cameroon on the 1st of October 2017? What argument do you have? What argument? It wasn't his decision. He was implementing the decision of the people of Southern Cameroons. Why are you holding him in your prisons? Why are you holding him in your prisons? The people gave him that decision. We continue to say it. On September 22nd, that decision was given to His Excellency Sissoco Ayuk Julius. Put it down and tell them that he went out there and proclaimed what the people told him to do. And how do you argue? On what basis do you argue the restoration of the independence on October 1st, 2017? On what basis do you argue? Some of you look in the mirror and lie to yourselves. These same parliamentarians that are in, I mean, these guys should be isolated because they are working for an individual in Yaoundé and not for the people of Southern Cameroons. Honorable Joseph Mbandam lied to the BBC. I remember when Akwesi Sapon had an interview and he said he's resigning because the people have told him to. On October 27, you told those representatives, do not represent us again in Yaoundé. But they still go there and come back and ask you to provide goods, ask you to give palm oil and everything for them to eat and continuously enslave you. They drive in big cars while you trek. If you look at the total amount of money spent in those cars used by administrators, MPs, and those individuals that the government tried to make them too powerful to colonize you in your communities, that would construct the roads, that will provide hospitals, that will build schools and equip them. But because they want you to look at them like demigods, they try to fashion them and brand them in a stylish way so that you continuously look onto them. That was what colonization did. Remember, when they came with jeans, they came with dresses, they came with whiskey, and made our people to feel like a certain way of life is the life that you have to live to be someone that is recognized. And it's the same thing that the regime of Paul Biya is doing with these so-called MPs and make you to worship them. No, the time has passed. Africans must stand up and take back control of their resources and their decisions. Take back control of your institutions. Take back control of your institutions. The chiefs in the Southern Cameroons had the people at heart. They were looked after by their people. Chief them, what people they look after chief them. And chief they be stay in solidarity. People be believe in which way chief go for talk. It be do like some divine wisdom. They be ruled out of divine wisdom. And because the people they be so united and so strong with their chiefs, when the colonial administrators they be sent into our communities, what did this guy do? He had to try to look for a way to break the bond between the people and the chiefs. And how can I do that? Give them a status so that they start fighting to become first class, second class, and third class chiefs. And that destroyed and politicized our chiefdoms. And we allowed that to happen. And he now planted his dues and even took power from the mayors around and gave it to the dues. What it be used for mayor? Someone be tell me what mayor they do, what the deal they do for our community. How much money is being wasted, which could construct our roads? So we bring some of these things to our people to understand how they have been enslaved by the regime of Mr. Paul Biya. He don't come for Southern Cameroons, Ambazonia. He don't come talk say they give schools. When elections they come, they say they will compensate you, they just give school. They say they will compensate you, they just give school. They just say we don't announce school for Moyoka, we don't announce school for Bello, we don't announce school for Yoke. We don't announce school for who go build a school, for how much, when they go complete the school. Also the teachers go come there. What happens when I still use when money build this school, provide benches, pay school fees, buy uniform, then wait to be the use for government? That is not the kind of government that His Excellency Sissoko Ayub Tabe Julius was thinking about when he restored the independence of Southern Cameroons. He said to himself, if I make any decision, that decision must be popular amongst the people. And we want to encourage today's interim government to know that the testing of decision is very important because the people will own that decisions. You can use your activists to agenda set whatever policy that you want to use. It is used across the world. In the United Kingdom, that is what the LBC radio is all about. They test policies. They will tell you today, oh, we want a second referendum. Another journalist will come in the afternoon and say, there is no need for a second referendum. And they will open it for people to call and make suggestions. Why they think that there should be a first referendum? In that way, the government is able to make policies. It is important that the popularity of decisions is tested amongst the people or within people. So, October 1st, 2018, the biggest showdown in London. When I remember when we block road for Commonwealth office. Some people be defeated. The time the camera will give on that day, all man will give a come out that day for sure. If you did, whether you don't have a which corner for this United Kingdom, October 1st for 10 Downing Street. 10 Downing Street. We'll give a day in it's a Monday. We'll give a day in our numbers. We'll give a day in our numbers. So 10 Downing Street from 12. The authorization for that work don't already be made. The notification for that day don't be done. We want to thank Tamanji Robert and Mr. Bernard Comfort for having done that on behalf of the community. Excuse me, for having done that on behalf of the community, and there is nothing to be worried about. We have to go out there. My flag already here. If you never get your own, and if you need your own, go for community Facebook page or our phone number and send us a WhatsApp or a text, and the necessary people where they be in charge, they will contact you. So to round off, October 1st 2018 is the day we have to come out and reaffirm the decision that we made on October 1st 2017. We all have to be out there. So we must stay focused. Forget about the distractions here and there about leaders. Most of these people coming with these confusions are agents of LRC. So they have thousands of fake Facebook accounts in the name of Ambazonia who come and try to distract you, and you look at it. I do not respond, or we do not respond to ghost profiles. If you write to us with a ghost profile, we will not respond. We just delete it and move on. Because a true Ambazonia will be able to know what Ambazonia stand for. And so don't be distracted by these LRC people and fight amongst yourself, Ambazonians. We do not do that. We don't do that. They are all agents of LRC trying to create confusion here and there. And we want to shame those leaders and those surrogates who go around creating fake profiles to attack leaders. You are completely working against the revolution, and you are selfish and greedy. That's just it. And you should be ashamed of yourself, because the truth about this revolution is those who stick together today might not be the same people you will be together next year, and might not be the same people you will be together in 2 years' time. So when you sit in your little area and do those dangerous things against the revolution, trust me, the truth will come out. The truth will come out. It is also on this platform we said we should stop attacking Milan Atta. We should stop attacking any Ambazonia without any proof of anything being done. The truth about the things that are done in this revolution will come out naturally. We have no institutions. We do not have the necessary tools to do any investigations, and stop accusing Ambazonians as black legs all over the whole place when they haven't done anything wrong. They have a right to an opinion. They have a right to challenge opinions. And when opinions are challenged, you make good decisions because you can argue, you can test your facts, you can say, I think A, you can think B, and by the end of the day, you'll be able to come out with the best policy. And so please, we encourage Ambazonians to stay together, support their local government areas. Now we've been talking about the Federal Republic of Ambazonia. The local government area, or county by county, or call it whatever, it is how we will test the management of our own resources. There is no country that is growing without local government areas. Local government areas must exist. They must exist. It's not tribalism. Don't get into La Republique where don't try to divide we 1,000 times in tribes, then tribe can make you for things say because you talk about your local. You come from a local government area. It's a fact. You know your people. You know their needs. It's a fact. So if your people, they need hospital, if your people, they need you know how many people they not be able to go to school, they not be able to they there for jail, you need to help them. You know how many of them are refugees, you need to help them. You have to come together as your local and strategize and think how you can help your people in your local government areas. Why people they work and talk up and down, they disturb themselves? And when you come to a local government area, you move to a county. When you've trusted yourself and see how you can manage your own resources within your local government area, you go to the county, and with the local government area should be able to come out with the county leaders, and county leaders should be able to come out with zones leaders. It's simple. So when you do that, you take back control of your revolution, and you will be able to help whoever comes out as a government. So, ladies and gentlemen, like my Collins manner here talk, for 56 years. They only talk say they will be you road, they will be you school, they will be you this. Every year the same thing, we will be you this, we will be you this. You did a degree here, they will be, they did it bill am. The next time they can't tell you, okay, we will be on a road, you greet them. The next year we will be you school, you greet them. The next year they can't tell you the same thing, they will tell you 10 years ago, we will be you school. The next, oh Lord, look at the markets in Southern Cameroons. Una pay get whether na patang or whatever they call them for market every day, every week or every day, but the market they say they na you they see move your money be your share. Oh, why we don't be slave the work money give some person they put up for you pocket. So Ambazonians are teaching the world an example. It is what happens in Western countries. It is what happens in developed countries, and that is what is being exported to Southern Cameroons. That is what is being exported to Southern Cameroon. So to conclude, ladies and gentlemen, let us meet on the 1st of October at number 10 Downing Street, 12 noon. 12. Please, we all have to be there. Get your t-shirts ready. Get your flags ready. If you want to wear your country clothes, you wear them. If you want to dress how, but if you don't get a flag, you know lots of people within the community where if you contact them for be able to get that flag. And a movement will be created at the moment. And don't get me wrong, it is known as Commonwealth Justice, Commonwealth for Justice. If you be interested, it be made of people from different Commonwealth countries, not only Ambazonians, and it be restricted. The strategic team they be formed at the moment, it be restricted to a certain number of people. It will be like the momentum led, the momentum group where they for UK where they advocate for the left, so the socialist policies for Labour Party, and so it will be a kind of a movement where Commonwealth citizens around the world will come for pressed for a Commonwealth of justice and not a Commonwealth of hypocrisy. We don't understand the political arm of the Commonwealth, how they exist, and if we get the people's-led movement where we force these people, and then we not only being as Southern Cameroonians, will make a better way for not only resist the injustice of government but the injustice of institutions, the way they back this these dictators. So on the 1st of October, ladies and gentlemen, let us be there. Let us encourage someone today. Tell them to stand up and know that it is what we stand for and we must stand for. And I leave you with this before I go. Do not accept the things you cannot change. Always stand up to change the things you cannot accept. Happy Independence Day in advance, and please stay strong, Ambazonian, and stay focused. Away from distractions, you know what to do to be able to execute your revolutions. Thank you so much for watching once again, and goodbye.